Welcome to Politics Watch JA. Today we are going to discuss the Prime Minister and his utterances and the nomination of Mark Golding as the President of the People's National Party. So, Mr. Logix, here with me. Mr. Logix, let's talk to viewers and subscribers before we kick off the discussion.
Yeah, man. Big up to our viewers and our subscribers, our listeners. Big up, guys, and continue. You know your jobs already to like, subscribe, share our Politics Watch GE channel to your friends, your families, your relatives, and your community. So big up once again and continue to do that, guys.
Alright, so viewers and subscribers, we hear the Prime Minister make some utterances. We want to put it to you and get your feedback. Some more, you go down in the comment section and give us your feedback on what Andrew Holness I tell you we say I go on in Jamaica right now. Listen to him.
We now have economic growth, which for many years we didn't have. Even though it is small now, we still have economic growth. And the economic growth has surpassed pre-pandemic economic growth. No other country in the region can claim that. Our unemployment rate is at an historically low level, around about 7%. You know what the conversation is now? They can't find people to employ. The business people can't find workers. That wasn't the conversation 6-7 years ago. We have endured the worst global health and economic crisis in a century without triggering a debt or balance of payment or a currency crisis. Nobody is even talking about the dollar. Dollar is stable. Our exports increased by more than 50% for January and February this year in comparison to the same period last year. Our net international reserves, as at the 31st of March 2023, stood at 4.15 billion United States dollars, an increase of 38% from pre-COVID levels. No other administration could find $100 billion to increase public sector wages. Do not take it for granted. Argue over how it is distributed and all the other issues. But by God, man, what is the nature of the thing? It's what have you done lately? So I have to constantly be reminding, yes, this is what we have done, this is what we are doing, this is what is to come. Because in a time of difficulty, people can, we know.
So viewers and subscribers, that is your Prime Minister Andrew Holness. And this clipping was taken from his Instagram account. But before we get to Mr. Logix, I want to read at least 3 of the comments them, because Andrew only said he might listen to the viewers and he might listen to the citizens of Jamaica. So I want to read at least 3 of them so that Andrew Holness, more if Andrew Holness read back the response of his followers. So the first one is the unemployment rate would be much higher if they were to factor in people who have given up on finding a job. Also, the country is going through a major brain drain where highly qualified persons are leaving the country to find work and live in developed countries. It's disingenuous not to take those factors into account. And that person got 4 replies. Another person says, nobody wants to work for lunch money and bus fares. That person got 19 replies. Another person said, what about crime situation? What's the use of making money when crime rate is so high? Another person says, you know why you can't find workers? Because the wages, they are going to pay the workers. Alright, so I'm going to put a link in the description for this Instagram post made by the Honorable Andrew Holness, aka Bro God. So Mr. Logix.
I don't even know if that man is honorable right now, but continue.
So Mr. Logix, so low.
Yeah, man, I was saying I don't even know if that man is honorable right now.
No.
But continue.
Honorable Andrew Holness. The man said Mr. Logics, the man say unemployment is at 7%, the lowest it has ever been.
Alright, this is what I want to address before I even go to the unemployment, right? Because I want to dissect the video from the beginning to the ending, right?
Well,
at the beginning of the video, he said that we have seen bigger growth in economy now than pre-pandemic levels.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that statement is the biggest con artist statement ever in a long while in our political history.
So you say a lie Andrew Holness at all?
That statement is so misleading that if you don't have simple common sense, right, you carried away by that statement. So I'm going to explain it to your viewers and your listeners.
Yeah, man.
Right? In economics, you have what you call real growth and you have recovery growth, right? What Jamaica is seeing before the pre-pandemic level, right? Jamaica was economic growth by 1.1% just before COVID. Okay? Alright, when COVID came and hit Jamaica, the economy crashed basically, and according to Staten data, the economy lose 10% growth. So basically we were +1, and then the year after we go -10. So if you do the maths, we'll be -9, right?
Yes.
So what after the COVID note, last year and this year, what we're seeing is not real growth in economics term. What we're seeing is that we are recovering the -9% that we lost. So this is what the Prime Minister said that is very misleading. Because the data came out that the economy grew by 5%, right? He's putting it out in public knowledge that this is the biggest growth in economy. This growth is bigger than pre-pandemic level. But the 5% that the economy grew by last year into this year, that 5% is actually a recovery of the -9%.
But
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, me understand what you say, but anyway. But Mr. Logics, anyway, take your still growth. Mr. Logics. Mr. Logics. Anyway, you take anyway, you take your still growth.
Yes, but we call it recovery growth, meaning that recovery growth is you're recovering what you actually lost.
Alright, so
right?
bro God.
So
Andrew
he has to recover -9. He has to cover the -9. So in other words, the economy would have to grow by 9%. And then once that happens, you will then measure real growth now as to what determines our economic growth. And guess what? It is actually real growth. So the Prime Minister knows what he's doing, because he knows. But he's just trying to mislead the public into thinking that, hey, we go by 5%, when 5% is what some of what you lost. You're trying to recover what you lost.
Alright. So Andrew Holness, you need to clarify that, right?
It's a misleading statement, and people who don't understand economics or simple logics, they're going to run with that statement like that. So this is what you call a political statement.
Political statement. So when him talk about unemployment, they're the lowest, 7%. Where a political statement that too?
Alright, I'm glad that you read the comments, because guess what? You know that if you never read those comments on Instagram, right? Or from the Insta page.
Yes.
I would have actually said the same thing that few of the person wrote. And guess what? What one of the person wrote, right? You have to factor in the fact a person wrote that, and this is what I was going to say. You have to factor in that we are having a brain drain where a lot of the professional persons are leaving the island, teachers, nurses, in droves, because first world countries are employing them and other professionals, and then the skilled workers, right? Because they're saying that we don't have any skilled workers here, so they are importing skilled workers. But you have to ask yourself the question: why is Canada taking a lot of the Jamaican skilled workers. You know that there's a lot of Jamaican skilled workers moving to Canada
Yes.
and live.
Yes.
So you then have to ask, if Jamaica don't have any skilled workers, then why is Canada always importing skilled workers from Jamaica? You have to ask yourself that question. And thousands upon thousands of people, professional people, have migrated overseas. But this is what the comment that you read, right?
Yeah.
This is what the person did not say. This is what the person did not say in the comment. Aside from the professionals, right? You have the biggest migration Jamaicans have seen in years upon years. And this is migration is involve a lot of illegal immigrants, right? And what you have is thousands of Jamaicans that are going the Mexican border route, right? Where they are illegally entering the United States via the Mexican border. In fact, that is even been on news. So the question you have to ask yourself, why is there an increasing amount of Jamaicans ready to go the dangerous Mexican route just to get to the United States?
So what
to seek a better life.
Yeah, so what have to do with unemployment rate?
Unemployment, this is what I'm going to tell you what to do with our unemployment rate, right? Because unemployment rate can be very also, it can be misleading. Why? Because guess why? When they're looking at employment with the country, they don't take into consideration persons who are not looking for jobs.
Okay.
That is one, right? What you can have, because even the US is the same issue that they're having with Biden, where they're saying Biden is saying that unemployment has been the lowest in years. But then now there's another data that came out. That is because there are over millions of persons who are not seeking a job, so they would not count within the statistics because they're not seeking a job. It's the same thing with Jamaica. We would need the data to tell us all the persons out there that are not seeking a job and they are unemployed. We need a data for that.
So what?
Right? And what can provide the data for that is what they call census.
What about the dollar? The dollar is stable dollar. Andrew said dollar stable.
Yes, I will agree with that. That is one point I will agree. Let me tell you why I will agree. The dollar has been stable since this new BOJ governor, Richard Bells. In fact, it has been stable for the last 4 to 5 years. When he just became prime minister, the first 3 years the dollar was sliding from 2016 to 2019. But since 2020, up until now, so I would say just 3 years going to 4 years, the dollar has been stable. So you have to.
What about the net reserve? You say a $4.5 billion in a US dollar. Them have in a BOJ there net reserve.
Yeah, I would agree that they're likely to have an increase in the net reserve. The reason for that is the government has tightened spending and they have tightened spending, reduced debt. So when you tighten spending and reduce the debt per GDP, right? What you're going to have is an increase in the net reserves.
No, but what may I say, if them tighten spending and reduce debt, what them find what are the Mr. Logics? What them find $100 billion for increase public sector wages?
Well, that is the next question. That is the next big headache question that I am looking for answers. The fact that he said that they find $100 billion, right, for public sector wages, you then have to ask yourself a question: is that $100 billion sweetheart deal that came from the World Bank? The World Bank governor was here not too long ago. Is it a deal that is it a loan deal? When I say deal, I mean loan deal. Is it a loan deal that came from the IMF, right?
Remember EU General Secretary come here too?
Exactly. And then the reason why I also ask that because it is the IMF that told the government that they will have to restructure the public sector wage negotiation, right? The IMF gave them that directives because they borrow money from the IMF. And once you borrow money from the IMF basically saying either you're going to reduce your public sector wage bill or you're going to reduce your public sector employees where the government would have to find a lot of persons lose their jobs within the public sector, or you reduce the wage or something, but it just can't happen because the debt is too heavy. So you have to ask yourself the question, is it a secret loan deal? Where does that money come from? Because number one, Jamaica doesn't have oil. We don't have oil. So where does the money come from?
No, but the next thing, Mr.
now,
Logics. The next thing me say, remember say, Nigel Clark say, no new tax for about 5 years now.
That is what I was just...
Wow, Mr. Logics, hold on, we not hear you so clearly. Repeat that point for me.
I was saying that is exactly what I was going to say before you came in and say that we never had any new taxes for the last 5 years, and then you have to ask where does that money come from? Even though person...
I assume say from tourism.
Alright, persons will say even though there are no new taxes, the government is still collecting more money every year. The reason for that is because food prices and everything goes up because of inflation. Once everything goes up, then the government actually collects more taxes.
So because alright, so in terms of him say export increase by 50% in January and February.
Yes, he said 50% in January and February. Export increase
compared to 2022.
Yes, compared to 2022, but that will be expected given that when the COVID actually hit Jamaica as well, right? A lot of the exporters, they remember that the borders was closed, customs was closed down, and the country was basically locked down for a while. And that will have an impact on exportation. So once you find that last year the borders up and this year everything is up and running now, and we're just really getting back. In fact, if you think about it, is actually since this year we are getting back to really normal levels after the post-pandemic, right? So you're going to find that exportations are going to go right back up again, like it was before pre-pandemic, and everything would level off. So that was also expected. So I don't read into that much, because given that all of this statements made by the Prime Minister, right, that seems to look very good on the eyes. You have to ask yourself the question, if all of these things are true, then there are important questions that you will have to ask yourself as well as your viewers and your listeners. Why is Jamaica still ranked as the second poorest country within the Caribbean?
Yes.
Understand?
Yes.
Why is Jamaicans crying so much about high food prices? Because there's an outcry out in the society about the inflation rate, especially regarding food prices, and it's an everyday issue, right?
Yes.
And then you also have to ask yourself the question, with all these good things that the Prime Minister mentioned, why is the Prime Minister and his party right now so unpopular? Why are they trailing behind in opinion polls? If they were, in fact, they were 2019 before pre-pandemic, they were leading the next party by 20 percentage points.
Yes.
So why are they now trailing? Right? In opinion polls, given the fact that they're doing so well. So you have to ask those questions. And then you have to ask...
Mr. Logics, Mr. Logics, you have to repeat yourself right there, sir. Can you just go out again?
Yeah, and then you'll have to ask yourself a question, why so many persons are also leaving the island? In Jews, whether professionals or by illegal routes, why so many persons are leaving the country?
Boy, may I tell you, say, may I read, he comments them on Andrew Holness Instagram post, and everybody are beating bad. You understand what I say? Because this person I say, so why can't I get my 2014 energy refund, and why the anomalies created by the transformation of the public sector is not dealt with? My retroactive salary was calculated using the incorrect salary. My new salary is therefore incorrect, and I am also on the wrong band. Work for 37 years, trained graduate since 2005, and senior teacher 3. I am on the same band and point as my daughter, who is now teaching for 4 years. So, Andrew, let's have a lot of things to start out before you start boast.
Yeah, man, there's just persons who are working long, especially in the public sector. with government. These persons working for 20, 30 years and they feel worthless. And the reason why they feel worthless is like there's no
Inflation.
big increase in their salaries, there's no big increase in benefits or incentives. They feel like they haven't achieved anything. And a lot of them regret the fact that they actually stayed in Jamaica so long rather than going overseas when they had opportunities.
And in fact, saying get 200%. But our next question more ask you though. The
Yeah.
transformation of the public sector. Do you think it has saved the public sector? If you get because it have merging a whole heap of what will I say, little departments in a ministry and two like it have the merging of the integrity plus the integrity commission and the other entity there. You think that save the country and make him have more money to spend on the public sector?
Actually, I don't think it actually save the country. What I think in that regard, what I think save the country and probably allow them to have more money to spend, right, is the fact that the government, they made a lot of sweetheart deals with these public sector wage negotiation and unions, meaning that the amount of money that they owe the public sector wage workers coming from PMP administrations along the line, right? What those public sector unions agreed to was to write off some of those years, and that was one of the wrong moves. And that is what saves the government, because the fact that those public sector were willing to let go some of those years and for basically forfeit some of those years, and they will not get the money for some of those years. The government is actually smiling. These politicians, I would say, they are smiling their way to the bank, knowing the fact that, hey, we don't have to pay some of these retroactive salaries to public sector workers over the years.
Alright, so make we switch gear now, cause hold on, before we do that, so you how much percent you agree with Andrew Holness with this statement we make?
How much percent?
Yeah, you think how much percent out of it falls and true?
Basically, he made five statements in that entire video, and I only agreed with one of them, and that's the stability of the dollar. So that will be 1 out of 5, so that's 20%.
So I'm to net reserve.
And yeah, he made the net reserve one, but that I did not see that as a really separate statement, given that there were reasons for the net reserves.
Okay. Why? Your mark, bro got the mark. Hey, I know you alone shit, Mr. Logic.
It's very misleading, and that is my biggest problem with the Prime Minister, and this Prime Minister especially is, in fact, I've been to both 4 Prime Ministers, 3-4 Prime Ministers, right?
Yes.
And this one, it seems this one is the most misleading Prime Minister I've ever seen in Jamaica. In fact, I don't want to even call him the world liar.
Alright. So hold on. Alright, so we're not calling world liar. We're not calling Andrew Holness world liar, right? We're not calling so. We are calling Brogan. For now. Alright. So what me I say?
This man misleading bad.
So you might take with idiot, you might take with a fool. Why Andrew Holness is easy no man. But I see him sentiments them a share upon the Instagram post though. So nobody feel say special, yeah? Everybody have beat him bad. Everybody have beat.
I forgot to mention too. This morning I even passed the US Embassy line, and the line was like double.
As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, several of them are asking about crime. Or can our economy grow with such high crime rate? Violence.
Which is impossible. You can't have a successful economy with such high crime rate. That won't ever work.
Alright. So, but we can move to me not gonna say Master Mark, but me not say that. Me I say Mark Golding. We can move to Mark Golding now. Alright. Mark Golding, he get nominated as president of the People's National Party. Nobody no go against him. Why you feel say he was unopposed?
And I think it's very stupid as well as to why no one challenged him. I think he's unopposed because challengers, the would-be challengers, right? Like persons like Peter, Philip Powell, sorry, not Peter, Philip Powell. There were talks of Philip Powell last year that he was seeking out to challenge Mark Golding this year, right? In the presidency.
But him
right?
not resign,
there were
man.
talks that,
Not resign from politics. Well, him a still
no,
MP.
I'm talking Philip Powell, not Peter Phillips. Philip Powell.
sorry, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Philip
Former
Powell,
chairman,
Peter
yeah,
Phillips.
he's for East Kingston, Philip Powell.
Yeah.
Last year, there were talks that Philip Powell was going to challenge Mark Golding in 2023. In fact, it was not just talks or little rumors. It was big news. There were even pictures of Philip Powell going to meetings and trying to get support or drum up support for 2023. That's Philip Powell. The reason why he did that last year, right? I'm going to tell you the reason why. Just to show you all, they said that 1 day in politics, 1 year in politics is a short time because things can change so rapidly in politics within a day, or in fact within a minute, right?
Mr. Logics, go repeat that.
So last year, when there were talks of Philip Powell challenging Mark Golding, it was because the poll result that came out, the RGL Dan Anderson poll result that came out last year in August, showed Mark Golding was trailing Andrew Holness by 14 percentage points, right?
Yeah.
34% to 20% is in party standings, both parties. So they were saying that Mark is incapable of leading the PNP because he's unpopular. He doesn't have that image or that what you call charisma to lead the PNP to victory. So Philip Powell decided I'm going to challenge Mark next year in 2023, thinking that his popularity, his unpopularity would have remained the same. But guess what? Earlier on this year, they realized that the polls started to flip, where Mark started to gain momentum. He started to gain popularity. In February, he surpassed even the Prime Minister, and then PAP's lead started to lead the JLP by 1%. Then last month, the recent polls came out showing PNP leading by 5%. So I think this is the main reason why no one decided to challenge him, because they are seeing the groundwork that Mark Golding has been doing, and they are seeing that he has a momentum and his popularity is increasing, and also there's also one other reason why they decided not to challenge Mark Golding as well.
Why?
Whether him or Damian or Lisa, is because in their view, Mark Golding, along with the General Secretary Dayton Campbell, they have created created hundreds of PNP groups within the party in the last few years in favor of themselves. These PNP groups are groups with delegates. So what you have is that Dayton Campbell has created hundreds of groups, and these groups has like 5 to 10 delegates each, and all of these delegates groups that they have created, they actually are in favor of Mark Golding. So they see that as also a disadvantage to them if they decide to enter. But
the PNP is still divided. Anyway, take it.
Yeah, man, they are still divided. They are big. In fact, guess what? If the PNP, the recent poll show that PNP is leading by 5%, right? And would have divided PNP. If the PNP was actually united and they weren't divided, I would have moved that 5% to 15% lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have actually moved that 5% to 15%. But PNP is still very divided. The reason being, a lot of the supporters of former President Peter Phillips, they are very angry. They are still upset with Mark Golding. They call Mark Golding and Dayton Campbell and Angela Brownberg, who is the chairman, they see them as risers and not the real PNP, because they say that these persons are undermined.
Mr. Logics, you get low again. Repeat that statement about Angela Brownberg.
Yeah, I was saying that Angela Brownberg was a chairman, right?
Yes.
they are saying that these persons, the chairman, the secretary, and Mark Golden, along with Peter Bunting, undermine the previous president, Peter Phillips, and they cost him the election. So his supporters, they are not supporting Mark.
Okay.
A lot of his supporters. So what you find is is a divided party, and guess what? The party is going to remain divided until a person comes to the forefront that can unite both sides, and the only person seems to can is Crawford.
Okay. All right then.
He's the one that seems to have both. Cause Lisa not can't unite both either. Cause supporters of Mark Golden and Peter Bunting, they don't like Lisa, and the opposite. So what you have is that only Damon Crawford seems to have supporters from both sides to unite them.
So you feel say Mark Golden I go organize the party in before reach election time to make a viable option.
He will organize the party, but the question is, will it be enough to win the election? I'm thinking that currently they have 14 seats, right?
Yeah.
They will gain more seats. I think they will hit the 20 plus mark, but will it be enough to win the election? Because they're going to need 32. But the JLP is going to lose at least 10 seats, and PNP will increase there to 20. But I don't think it might be enough, especially if Andrew Holness decided that I'm not calling that election until the polls are in my favor.
Okay. All right.
Like he did the last time. That was what Andrew did the last time.
Viewers and subscribers are going to wrap up and now, you know. Because a whole party we discuss, and we have more things to discuss, but we don't want to put certain things in it when not related. So, Mr. Logic, start your viewers and subscribers before we step out there.
Yes, viewers and subscribers, remember, guys, to like up the video, share the video, all our videos as well as our Politics Watch JA channel. Share to your friends, your family, your community, at your workplaces, as well as with relatives and friends. And big up once again, guys. You will hear from us again soon.
All right, Mr. Logic, take care of yourself here.
Yeah, man.